Welcome, beautiful ones. Let me start by saying this is not a space where you give your power away. Okay, this is not that tarot. Sacred Sync is where we alchemize old patterns into new identity. So, this tarot here is not fortune telling, it's frequency work. That's what we're doing here. In other words, these cards don't tell you what will happen, they're going to mirror the frequency you're carrying. And together, we'll transmute it through alchemy. Okay? And what we're going to transmute it in is into the self you already are without the noise. Okay? It's your true self. So this spread will take us on a movement from the old loop into the true identity through alchemy, and then into the rooted home frequency so that we are that frequency. Does that make sense? All right, beautiful ones, here we go. Now, I know this is different than any other tarot, and I hope that you stay and you continue to go on this journey with me. We're all learning this together. This is very different than fortune-telling tarot, psychic tarot. This is not what this is. I'm mirroring this. We're going to be mirroring this stuff, okay? So, the first card that we are going to pull, and these are important positions that I've come up with, but the goal is so that we identify with our true selves without the noise. Okay, without all the layers that society and family and genetics and cultures have put on us. Okay, our true selves. So this first position is what I call the frequency mirror, and this is where your identity is. This is where your identity is looping right now. Okay, so this card is mirroring the frequency that you've been living in. All right. The identity pattern that's been running, right? Subconsciously. Okay? So let me say this. We're not naming it so that you're trapped in it. Okay? We're naming it so we can alchemize it into something new. All right? So, position number 1. What's the mirror frequency? Okay. So, your pattern right now is what's mirroring you. Your pattern right now that's mirroring your frequency, that's mirroring you, is about emotion. Like being attached emotionally. What's coming to you is from what your emotions bring out. So if you're one that's based in fear, it's a flow and it's a night, right? And so it's almost like the frequency that you're at, or that we are at, right? Is that right now our frequency is run by the emotions. If we're fearful about things, then fear comes towards us. If we're flowing with things, then we're very powerful in that. We're like, our emotions are dictating how our physical reality is being formed. Yeah, like it's almost like you get an opportunity, but do you feel it? And well, in the past, it's not done this or it's done that, right? And so that kind of comes about. Well, in the past, when this opportunity has come up or shown itself, I didn't take it because, nothing ever works out, right? Like if you have that frequency. So for all of us, our emotions are dictating that frequency. Now, this is the Knight of Cups. He's not the King of Cups. So he still has to learn. We are still learning that our frequency, our emotions are powerful. Very powerful. Like, some of us don't realize how powerful they are. That inner talk, the emotion, the inner talk that we have with ourselves about, all the stuff that you tell yourself that you never even put a word to, but your emotions are feeling it, right? So if you get, I don't know, if you get a phone call from somebody and you're like, oh, what happened? Or if, a bill starts coming up and you're like, oh gosh, You know, that's fear. That's fear based. So that's what your reality is dictating right now. Does that make sense? All right. So this is what's mirroring you. What's mirroring you is that you are flowing. It's just you haven't gained control of what you're flowing in. You've allowed your emotions to lead the frequency. Yeah, the vibration, if that makes sense. Um, so, what's your true identity? What's our true identity? So, this next card is going to reveal the self that already exists, right? The identity beyond fear and dependency. So, it's the illumination of you that doesn't need fixing or proving because it's already whole, right? It's the you without all that noise, right? So, let's look to see what that is. Yeah, this is, look at the hanging man here. So your true identity understands that it does not have to push to produce or attach itself to anything or take a lot of action to make the things become physical. Does that make sense? Like, your whole self already knows in the hanging position it moves when it wants it because it already knows that whatever it wants, it's already yours, right? So whatever you're wanting, this is the hanging man. I'm in my total self. I do not lack. I do not fear. I do not depend. I see this position is very interesting because it's you've hung yourself. If you see, this is not where you can't get out of this position. And so being in your aligned self, calm, just hanging, just chilling, just it's the knowing of like, I don't have to have fear. I don't have to have anxiety. I don't have to, because I already know when it's time to move, I have discernment and I move. And when I want when I desire something, right, it's already mine. I'm just going to move towards it. Like, I'm just going to let it unfold. Say it that way. I'm just going to let it unfold because it's already mine. My desire is what gave me the pointed view of where I wanted to go. That's it. But there's no like, oh, now I have to travel. Oh, now there's going to be blocks. Oh, now I got to be protected. Oh, now blah, blah, blah. Like, none of that. That's your true self, right? So here you get emotionally attached or dependent, or you let your emotions run, and that's what's been mirroring you. If it's fear, then that's what's been mirroring you. If it's happiness, then that's what's been mirroring you. If it's sadness or anxiety waiting for something to fall, for the rug to be pulled out from under you, that your emotions are powerful. And because it's the knight and not the king, I think you understand how powerful your emotions are, but you don't understand that they are leading what's being created outside of you. Does that make sense? And so we come to our true selves without the noise. That person that you without the noise doesn't need to always have their emotions leading the way. They just are it. Does that make sense? Okay. Now this third card is how the old identity, right? How this identity dissolves into the true one that lives today. Today. We're not talking about the future. We're talking about today. We are shifting identity, okay? So this card is going to show the alchemy at work. This card is going to be how the old frequency, this one, transforms when you choose to live as your true self now, okay? This is the path of identity shift, okay? This is choosing alignment in the moment instead of looping the old story. Like, what are your thoughts consisting of? What are your emotions consisting of constantly? There's a lot of looping going on, especially with the water sign. And there's confirmation if you just heard the train. Okay, so what is this card? How the old identities dissolves. How do we do this? Right? That is with the Three of Swords. Sorry. Put this up here. That is with the Three of Swords. Now, the Three of Swords, this crow here in this Three of Swords, he's picked up the sword, one of these swords, right? Was it his? We don't know. Was it someone else's? We don't know. But he picked it up, right? I'm saying the Three of Swords. I'm so sorry. It's the Seven of Swords. He picked it up, right? So he has an idea. Maybe it's somebody else's idea. Maybe, yeah, maybe it's somebody else's idea. Maybe it's his idea, right? But he's picked up the idea and he is moving with it. He's claiming it as his and he's moving with it. Does that make sense? So to alchemize this, it's like claiming your stake, claiming what was always yours. Does that make sense? Instead of focusing on your emotions and allowing that to lead to your path right now, there's some ideas that maybe you heard from someone else. Maybe you saw somewhere else. But your true self knows when it wants something, it will appear. It will begin to become physical. It will unfold, right? Doesn't matter where it came from, how you got it, right? In the past, some things may have held you back, like, oh, I don't want to do that. That's not appropriate. Oh, I don't want to. No, this crow is like, that's available. I'm taking it. It's mine. Right? Does that make sense? It's not like you're stealing from anybody else. It's like it was yours already. The idea, the creation, right? So to alchemize this and get you, I don't want you to detach from your emotions, but what's happening now is that your emotions are leading, and then what that becomes physical, that dependency, that anxiety, that attachment to that idea that you just had to have that way, right? Or and it's not what your true self knew. It's like co-creating with somebody else when I'm talking about it that way. Does that make sense? So this Seven of Swords says you don't have to fight for anything. It's yours. It was always yours. That's why you desire it. That's what you're doing here on earth. That's what you're doing in this lifetime, right? But you get confused, we all do, because we have the emotion behind it, and so we get attached and we become dependent, and then we get sad when it doesn't turn out the exact way that we thought it was, or it didn't come in, it's not coming in like we think it should, right? That's the whole emotional thing, where the hanging man is like, I'm just here chilling, and when I want something, it happens. When I want the house, it's already mine. It's just going to unfold. I'm just going to sit in gestation. Okay? So the fact that it's not appearing in front of you right away, your whole self knows. That doesn't mean that you're denied that. That means that it's just forming physically, right? But the way to transform from here to here is to take your ideas, is to not detach from the place that you thought it should come from, or the way that it should come in, or that it hasn't unfolded yet. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, this fourth position is, okay, now that we understand this frequency, now that we understand what's mirroring us and what's coming out, and now that we understand a little bit about how to transmute this, transform this, alchemize this, once we've known this, how do we anchor this? How do we hold and root this frequency, right? How do we make that frequency stick? Because a lot of us, I will say all of us, I know a lot of you will have your manifestation and then you can't keep it. That means it's not rooted. That means you found the frequency is yours, but then your nervous system does not hold it yet. Okay, so this is why I have this card, because I want to be able to root that frequency that you are, your whole self, to root it. I want it to flow through you without all that noise, right? And stick. Okay, does that make sense? So this card is going to show you how to anchor the shift, this shift, so it doesn't slip away, right? Alchemy becomes real when you root it into your daily life, okay? This is when the new identity becomes so familiar. It becomes the familiar frequency that you call home. It's you, okay? So, what is that? I love this card. Understand with the wheel. I love this card, especially with this deck. The wheel is showing you the phases that we go through in life, right? The phases that we go through in life, like, you know, the first house, the second house, the third house, when we're young, when we're old, when we're in mid, you know, when we're teens, whatever, different phases in life. You know, I've lost the job, I've gained the job, I'm a different person, all those phases, right? And so, because we're used to going through phases, sometimes we can come to an understanding that it's about timing. Okay, now that can hinder us when we're shifting identities, because yes, when your belief system is that it's about time because you've seen phases, then that's true for you. But I want you to understand your whole self, and your whole self says, yes, it's true, there are phases in life and there are phases in reality, but you are the alchemist. You can go through and have it done immediately. You don't need to wait. It's your belief system that's causing you to wait. You have to align with this, right? So to root it, you have to understand that, yes, there are phases, but it's so let me give it to you this way. It's almost like an Aquarius going out of time. You know how they can bend time and move time, and well, I don't know if you know that, but they can. So it's like that. It's like, if you say, well, one day, well, then guess what? It's going to keep going out there to one day. But if you say, this identity shift doesn't have to be a lot of work. It doesn't have to be a big understanding. It doesn't have to be, I can do it immediately. And when you practice that, you're anchoring that, yes, you can work in the phases, but this wheel shows that you can go, you're an alchemist, you're a magician, you have your spirit, you have magic in you. So even though we have like the parameters of phases, you can go through the phases quick. You don't even have to go through the phases. You can collapse them and it can happen immediately. This you, this identity, this you without all the noise, this pure you, doesn't have to wait for time or space, actually. That makes sense? So I hope that you understand this. I know this is very, very different than normal tarot, but I hope that you'll come back. And please let me know in the comments if you like this, if this helped you in any way, okay? So I want you to remember one more thing before we go, okay? Remember, you are not bound to the old frequency. It just showed you right here. You're not bound to the old frequency, okay? You are the alchemist. You transmute fear into sovereignty, longing into remembrance, and patterns into power. That's what we do here. And that's who you already are. All right, my beautiful ones. Until next time, love you, love you, love you. Bye.